Hey everyone, welcome to Veteran Focus, where we dive into various topics with the sole purpose of supporting veterans. We offer comprehensive services that help veterans find employment. Operational in 5 states across the US. Come check us out at vrspecialists.com. Without further ado, let's dive into the rest of the video.
Post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD, is one of the most common mental health issues among veterans due to the nature of military service, especially combat exposure. With the widespread awareness and acceptance of PTSD as a service-connected disability, I encourage all veterans to seek the benefits they have earned. In this video, we will cover the following topics. Chapter 1. Benefits associated with each rating. Chapter 2. What is PTSD? Chapter 3. Establish a nexus. Chapter 4. Application process. Chapter 1. The VA provides different levels of benefits depending on the disability it receives for PTSD. Here are the key benefits associated with each rating. 0% rating, non-compensable. No monthly compensation. Eligibility for VA healthcare for PTSD and other related conditions. Potential access to other VA benefits, such as vocational rehabilitation, if specific criteria are met. Free care for any service-connected conditions at a VA facility. 10% rating. Monthly compensation, approximately $165.92 per month as of 2024. Eligibility for VA healthcare and treatment for PTSD. Access to vocational rehabilitation services if needed. Possible access to other programs such as the VA Home Loan Guarantee or VA Burial Benefits, 30% rating. Monthly compensation, approximately $508.05 per month as of 2024. Access to increased healthcare services. Eligibility for additional dependent compensation if you have dependents, spouse, children, parents. Possible access to vocational rehabilitation and education benefits. Preference in federal and state employment hiring programs, veterans preference. 50% rating. Monthly compensation, approximately $1,041.82 per month as of 2024. Increased compensation for dependents. Enhanced access to VA healthcare for PTSD and other conditions. Possible access to special monthly compensation, SMC, for additional service-connected issues. Eligibility for additional vocational rehabilitation or adaptive housing benefits, 70% rating. Monthly compensation, approximately $1,662.19 per month as of 2024. Additional compensation for dependents, spouse, children, parents. Access to more extensive mental health care, including specialized VA programs for PTSD. Eligibility for total disability individual unemployability, TDIU, if unable to work due to PTSD. Eligibility for aid and attendance, ANA, or housebound benefits if further assistance with daily activities is needed, 100% rating. Monthly compensation, approximately $3,621.95 per month as of 2024. Additional compensation for dependents. Free VA healthcare for any condition with no co-payments. Eligibility for TDIU if PTSD prevents employment. Additional benefits like eligibility for special monthly compensation, SMC, aid and attendance, ANA benefits, and potential eligibility for adaptive housing or vehicle grants. Property tax exemptions in some states. Federal employment benefits, including priority access to VA services and potential access to life insurance through VA programs. Additional benefits for higher ratings, 50% and above. Dependent compensation for a spouse, children, and/or dependent parents. Caregiver support, access to programs that provide financial assistance to caregivers. Vocational rehabilitation, more extensive benefits to help you re-enter the workforce or gain new skills. Special circumstances. TDIU, total disability individual unemployability. Veterans rated less than 100% may receive compensation at the 100% level if they can't work due to service-connected PTSD. Housebound and aid and attendance. Additional monthly payments for veterans who are housebound or need help with daily activities due to their PTSD or other service-connected disabilities. Note, The exact compensation amounts are subject to yearly adjustments based on cost of living increases by the VA. Chapter 2. What is PTSD? Post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, is a psychiatric disorder that can develop in individuals who have experienced or witnessed a traumatic event, such as a natural disaster, a serious accident, rape, war or combat, or other violent or threatening events. Here's a brief definition. PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, is a mental health condition that occurs after experiencing or witnessing a traumatic event. It is characterized by symptoms such as flashbacks, nightmares, severe anxiety, and uncontrollable thoughts about the event. PTSD can significantly impact daily life, including work, relationships, and emotional well-being. PTSD is characterized by intrusive memories, recurrent, unwanted, distressing memories of the traumatic event, flashbacks, or nightmares. Avoidance, deliberate avoidance of places, people, or activities that remind the individual of the trauma. Negative changes in mood or cognitive functioning, persistent negative beliefs about oneself or the world, feelings of guilt or shame, loss of interest in previously enjoyed activities, and emotional numbness. Increased arousal and reactivity, being easily startled, feeling tense or on edge, having difficulty sleeping, or outbursts of anger. These symptoms must last for more than a month and significantly impair personal, family, social, educational, occupational, or other important areas of functioning to be diagnosed as PTSD. It's important to recognize that PTSD can occur at any age and can affect anyone, not just veterans or those who have experienced combat. Chapter 3. Establishing a nexus or a connection between a current medical condition and military service for VA disability benefits involves several strategies. 1. Medical nexus letter. This is often the most direct way to establish a connection. A medical nexus letter should be written by a healthcare provider familiar with your medical history or one with expertise in the condition you're claiming. Clearly state that it is at least as likely as not, 50% or a greater probability, that your condition is related to your military service. Detail your military service, including any specific incidents or exposures that could have caused or aggravated your condition. Reference medical literature or established medical principles linking military service to your condition. 2. Service Treatment Records, STRS. These records can provide direct evidence of an in-service event or the onset of symptoms. If your condition was noted during service, or if there's documentation of an incident that could lead to your current condition, this strengthens your claim. 3. Lay statements. While not as authoritative as medical opinions, statements from fellow service members, family, or yourself can corroborate service stressors or the onset of symptoms post-service. These are particularly useful for conditions like PTSD, where direct medical evidence might be lacking. 4. Buddy statements. Statements from comrades who witnessed or can attest to the event or your condition during service can be very persuasive, especially for PTSD or traumatic events. 5. Secondary conditions. If you already have a service-connected disability, showing how this condition has led to or aggravated another condition can establish a nexus. For example, if you have service-connected PTSD and now suffer from depression, linking the two can qualify the depression for benefits. 6. Presumptive conditions. For certain conditions, like Agent Orange exposure, Gulf War syndrome, or radiation exposure, the VA presumes a connection if you served in specific locations or times. This simplifies proving a nexus. 7. VA exams. During compensation and pension, C&P exams, it's crucial to discuss how your service might have contributed to your condition. If the examiner doesn't make a nexus, you might need to get a private medical opinion. 8. Consistency with known medical principles. Sometimes, even without direct evidence, if your condition's development follows known medical patterns, like hearing loss after prolonged exposure to loud noises in service, this can imply a nexus. 9. Documentation of continuity. For conditions not immediately apparent after service, showing a continuity of symptoms or a logical progression from service to the present can help. His might include civilian medical records, post-service, 10, legal or veteran service officer, VSO. Assistance. Sometimes navigating the VA's requirements or understanding what evidence is needed can be complex. Legal aid or VSOs can guide you on what specifically might be needed to prove your nexus. When preparing to show a nexus, gather all relevant records. This includes service records, medical records from service and post-service, and any documentation of events or conditions during service. Be clear and concise, whether in a medical nexus letter or your own statements. Clarity on how your service led to your condition is key. Follow up. If initial submissions are denied, consider what additional evidence or a different approach might be needed. Appeals with new evidence or clearer nexus explanations often succeed. Chapter 4. Application process. Filing a claim. Use the VA's e-benefits portal by mail or in person at a VA regional office are the 3 ways to submit a claim. VA Form 21-526EZ. This is the standard form for applying for disability compensation. Submit evidence. Be sure to provide any documentation or evidence related to the claim. Veterans, you need to be able to demonstrate that a disability is related to your military service. A diagnosis from a licensed medical professional, preferably from the VA hospital. Evidence of a stressor, a stressful or traumatic event experienced during military service. A nexus, a medical opinion connecting the in-service stressor to the current diagnosis. C&P exam, compensation and pension exam. After filing, the VA will schedule a C&P exam with a VA healthcare provider. During this exam, a VA doctor will evaluate the veteran's symptoms. They will review the veteran's medical history and discuss the in-service stressors that cause the condition. Once the claim is submitted, you will need to wait for a decision. You will receive a letter about the claim involving the disability rating and monthly compensation. Once you receive the letter, you have the option to appeal. The appeals process may involve submitting additional evidence or requesting a higher level review. In conclusion, I encourage all veterans to apply for other disabilities they might have. If you ever need help, contact a CVSO near you. They have a wealth of information and are more than happy to help veterans. Be sure to check out our video on how to get in contact with a local CVSO. Follow for more Veteran Focus. Thank you.